YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Duke, back here from Sportsgamerz.com, and in today's Madden 23 tip video, I'm about to break down the new offense that is taking over Madden 23. This meta offense is unstoppable. It's the gun, Y-off, trips, pats, and it's out of the New England Patriots offensive playbook. There's so many money plays from this formation. I think that this is a top 2 to 3 passing offense in the entire game. Maybe even number one. It's arguable, but it is money. Truly money. You see a lot of the top players that normally run bunch and trips have actually switched over, and when I say trips, I mean trips tight end, to this offense this year. It's so good. I actually have an ebook breaking this offense down. It's the Offensive Explosion Guide at Sportsgamerz.com. VIP members get it, and everything else on the site included in the package at no extra cost. So, without further ado, let's just get right into it. I will say this formation is definitely one that you want to make sure you have a good tight end, because the tight end is going to be really on a lot of key routes in these plays. You know, you don't necessarily need to have abilities, but I mean, having the tight end apprentice ability and the short end lead on your receivers and tight end definitely is something that I like to do. A lot of people use outside apprentice or receiver apprentice for C routes as well. You know, but it's really not going to be, you know, something that is 100% needed. It kind of just going to depend upon how you specifically like to run the formation yourself. So one of the best plays in this formation I want to look at in this video is this Y option wheel. This is a play that's really going to be effective no matter what type of defense the opposition is running. So let's just move it back a little bit. I like having this formation most of the time to have my trips receiver side of the formation on the wide side of the field. So here, if you take a look at it, you know, we got our trips on the right because we're lined up on the left hash. That means the right side of the field will be the wide side. Now, before I get any further in the video, just a reminder, guys, I do free Madden 23 tip videos. I do some gameplays. I do some news. We're going to really start doing more gameplays, by the way, very soon on my channel. So if you enjoy this content, make sure you subscribe, like the video, do a comment. Literally any comment will help. It could be a one word, an emoji, whatever. It's going to help me out in the YouTube algorithm. And let's try to get to 300 likes on this video if we can. I'll drop another money play from the New England Patriots offensive playbook, which I think is hands down one of the top 2 to 3 playbooks in the entire game. So there's actually a few different ways you can run this play. It really kind of depends upon what you want to do. If you had a tight end apprentice, you could put him on a corner route, but because we don't have that here, what I normally like to do is, first of all, it depends what kind of exactly coverage I'm expecting. But one of my favorite things to do is just put him on a quick out route. Out routes this year to tight ends are actually really, really good, especially if you get the short end elite. And then I like to do a little motion slant with the slot. The reason for this is when you do a little motion slant, if it is man coverage, those slants will get more separation than just a regular hot routed slant with no motion, guys. So we're going to go ahead and send him in motion like a step or two to the inside and snap the ball. And then I'm just going to go over my reads. So in a defense like this, I'm not really even trying to block the blitz. For my free YouTube content, I highly recommend checking out Sportsgamerz.com. This is where I post all my premium content for Madden 23. I have offensive and defensive ebooks, schemes, plus I do 4 to 6 premium tips every week in the Madden Vault to keep you guys ahead of the game. Our best offer yet is the Sportsgamerz Madden VIP membership. This is the best Madden membership anywhere on the net, the best content at the best price. You get access to the entire site for only $24.99. This means all of our ebooks, all of our Madden Vault tips, plus you even get access to our meta reports and our exclusive VIP members-only community. I also do one-on-one coaching as well for you guys that are interested in that. See you at Sportsgamerz.com. If you're serious about winning more games, I will post a link in the description as well as in the comments. And the reason for that is because most of these blitzes you see, the user responsibility is normally going to be the running back. Like here, the user responsibility is the running back. And one of the biggest things you guys have to be doing this year, especially against these blitzes, is quick passing wheel routes to running back out of the backfield. Because what most people do is they take a step down with their user on a blitz angle just like this and then try to sprint out to the flat. And even though I didn't even try to sprint out to the flat here just because I'm in practice mode, 2 controllers. It's hard to do that. But even if I did, I would have been late. If you have a fast running back at all you need is the user to hesitate for like a half second, and you can throw that every time. And I mean, against these man blitzes like this, it could be a one-play touchdown. If not, it's a huge play. Now, the thing about this is even if you do that to them once or twice, maybe they start to pay more attention to it, or maybe they take their user before the snap and line them up more over the running back than in the middle That's completely fine. Because what is going to happen then is on a play like this, now they're not going to be able to sit over the middle of the field and try to defend my slants, my post, maybe the tight end out route. Several different reads on this play will beat man. Now, I do want you guys to always pay attention to this outside receiver on a fade, especially if they're pressing you. Depending upon, you can just quickly watch the release of the receiver, and if they do press and he gets off the line quick, that's a one-play touchdown, okay? So keep that in mind, but that's something that you have to just glance at very quickly. If it's not there, like here we didn't even press, then you move over to the middle of the field where you see like just a simple post route like that. It's going to be very, very hard to defend that. So if you take a look at the replay, this time you see that the user, let's pretend it was the user and not just the CPU, but the guy on the running back, he actually guarded the running back. That means that there's nobody over the middle, so I know that I can either hit my slant or, my post over the middle of the field to the receiver. Another read I look at very quickly is often the tight end out route. Now, again, kind of just depends who your tight end is. Like, tight end out routes are not going to always get open. You definitely want a good tight end there. But also the leverage, you see that the defender in man coverage is lined up to the outside of him. So if you do see that, he's probably going to get guarded a little bit better. So that's another thing you have to pay attention to. Now, another thing I do want to note here is, especially for blitzes this year, especially if you're going to play like this and not even try to block them, you guys know that the under pressure is a thing this year. There's a lot of quarterbacks right now that can give you fearless which is going to basically make the under pressure is not even something you have to worry about. For low AP, I definitely check those out. So, as you guys can see here, there's really multiple reads on this play. There really is. Another thing you could do on this play, if you do see the guy lined up over the tight end, is, kind of to the outside of him, just put the tight end on a drag, quick snap it, and that's a quick 5-yard pass over the middle field. Probably not going to get you huge yardage, but again, that's just something that maybe they'll have to bring the tight end, so a man down in the box, to defend that a little bit better, which will only open up that out route even more. When you're running this type of offense, sometimes, a good player will eventually catch on to what you're doing and start to try to bluff the blitz at you. And what I mean by bluff the blitz at you, set up like they're running a heavy blitz and then just drop back in zone coverage. This play actually really kills zone coverage very well. There's a lot of things that are going to be open against zone. The first thing I do is I read the flat. Because a lot of times this year, even when they have a hard flat, I actually did right there, by the way. The guy in the hard flat, he does not get out to the flats in time, right? And if you see that, you can just quick pass the wheel route. So that's the first thing I'm looking at, and maybe also I look at the tight end out route over here. I'm basically making sure that they guard both flats. Now, let's say that whatever they do, let's switch to cover 2 right here, does guard the flat, right? At that point, I'm just kind of going to read the middle of the field here. Because I know that if the flats are guarded, then the user's going to have a choice over the middle of the field. Is he going to guard my slant that I motion, or is he going to guard that post? Because if he runs back to guard the receiver running the post just as I threw there, I can throw the slant. But if he stays underneath, see the user stays underneath to guard the motion slant, I can throw the post right over his head. So like here, the post was open, but let's just pretend this defender, bailed and ran to guard my post, then I would have hit the motion slant. Because again, not only does the motion help you against man coverage, but then it also makes them make more of a decision when they're in zone, who they're going to use her, because the motion will open it up more. This post and the slant definitely work very well together, not only because of the responsibility of the user, but on the right side of the screen, you also, you have a quick out to the tight end, and you have like a little fade route to the receiver. So, you're taking any deep zones away on the right side of the screen. You're taking the flats away. So, like, this player against zone coverage is always going to run open. Unless they were to user it, really. It would find an opening. Now, over here, the slant is going to be open because, once again, you're making them play the flat with that quick pass to the wheel route. And if they don't play the flat, you just quick pass it. But if they do play the flat, you already know that this guy is going to be open underneath because, once again, the user is going to have to pick between him or the post, the field. We're stretching the field horizontally on both sides, making these flat defenders spread out, which is what allows these routes to get open underneath. So this is a very, very, very good play. I don't really think we need to go over a million different man blitzes at this point. If you can beat one man blitz, you're probably going to be able to beat any man blitz in the game at this point because they're all kind of like similar, bringing heavy pressure, a lot of times rushing, 6 dudes, screaming at you, sometimes 5. If you can beat any of those styles of defenses, you can beat them all. because it's all about the reads and, you know, understanding routes to beat man. So hope this helped you guys out. Like I said, I actually have a full ebook on this game on sportsgamers.com. Check it out. As a VIP member, you get access to everything. Till next time, it's Duke.